you're kind of saying the guy Jeffrey was beaten savagely, and you were saying that you can't imagine Kenny ever doing that.
Right. I mean, he whooped the shit out of me, but he's a pussy. You know what I mean? He beats up on women. So he does. But he never really threatened anybody else when I was with him, as far as a man goes, because he's just a puss.
Well, let me read this to you.
Okay,
this is from your statement. Beat me up Saturday night and into Sunday morning. He bent both my wrists, almost breaking them. Mm-hmm. He put a cigarette out in my face and punched me in the eye on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
He picked me up on Sunday and threw me around the room into the fridge and the dresser. He screamed obscenities at me. He slammed me into the floor, causing me to black out, and suffocated me with the mattress. Stopped me from breathing 3 times.
Why you gotta bring that up?
Wait.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get to that. And pinned me on the ground. He threatened my life if I speak a word or said he would kill me. Now, those are your statements, right?
Yes.
And they are true.
Yes.
Then in the next one, he has slapped me in the face many times prior, poked me in the eyes, threw me down halls. He punched me over and over, grabbed me by the hair 2 weeks prior. He has staved me. Does that mean starved me? He has staved me. I don't know what they meant to say. Thrown me down steps, mentally abused me over and over for the last year. And then the police report. Did punch and kick the victims. The victim had strikes on her face, body, and head. Kneeled on the victim's chest, pinning her to the ground. Swelling on the victim's left and right side of her face. Black and blue mark on the victim's right eye.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a mess. Yeah.
Right jaw scrapes and a round abrasion. Victim related the round abrasion is a cigarette burn from defendant. Rear of her head is sore. Wrists are sore and numb. Banged her head against the ground a couple of times. Kneeled on her chest to keep her from running away. And then the final part, she was yelling out the window for help. The victim related she broke free and ran down the steps and out the front door onto Route 30. So those things happened.
Every single one of them.
And I have trouble understanding how you don't think Kenny could beat somebody over the head with a pipe until they're dead.
Oh my God, my stomach hurts over this shit.
Well, answer me how, in common sense, you could defend that Kenny is not violent and could not beat someone to death if he did those things to you.
I didn't think he was capable of freaking murder.
Well,
Who wants to believe that?
Sasha, do you understand that he almost murdered you?
Yeah, absolutely, a couple times.
When you can't breathe 3 times and you're pinned on the ground, the next thing is death. Right?
I know.
So, if you wouldn't have broken free, screamed out the window for help, and broken free and ran away, you would be dead right now instead of Jeffrey Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
So you understand that, right?
I do.
You know, the problem is, Sasha, here's the problem. Let's get real, okay?
Okay.
The real problem is, if Kenny is working for the drug task force.
Is he? I want to know.
How would I know? You would know better than I, wouldn't you? If he is, aren't they helping him cover up this murder? And how long do you think it's going to be till you're a danger because you know too much?
Oh my God, you're absolutely right.
What do you think about Kenny working with the cops?
I think he is.
And
I don't like talking about him. It makes me sick in my stomach.
Yes, and so he's been working with the police, including the time when this murder occurred.
Yes, including the time we got popped with drugs. Yes, I think he's been.
He's been working.
I got my ass whooped by him for telling his friend that I think he is.
You told one of his friends, and that got back to Kenny.
I told Randy. I said I think he's snitching. I think he's the one. I know he's the one because he freaking told me.
Kenny did.
He was really, really high one night, and I think he just came out. I don't know.
So when he was, after he wanted to split, when he was working for the drug task force, he's dealing all kind of coke. Then it went all wild. He could sell all he wanted with a free license, right?
Basically.
And you were around for that period of time.
Which one?
When he was working for the cops and selling a lot of coke.
I left him.
That was after you left him?
I finally working for the cops. They beat me up that day. We went back home. We had... Oh, wait, the rape was before that. Oh, my God.
Do you remember when you went to rehab?
Yes, I do. I went to rehab August of 2006.
August 2006.
Until January of 2007.
January of 2006. Or until January of 2007, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the murder happened in March of 2007, so you were out of rehab and back with Kenny.
January, February, March. It happened in March?
Yes, March 27th.
Wow. Yeah, time is crazy. Let me tell you, when you're on drugs, time does not.
I hear you.
It doesn't go right.
The days all blend together when you don't go to sleep at night.
Yeah, and then I went back to jail in May.
Back to jail in May. Yeah, so you were there in the process when this was occurring. You were there when he was selling drugs and working for the drug task force, if that's what was going on. You were there when the murder occurred. That's why.
Yes, I was there.
Why do you talk to him now?
I am a very caring person, and I have a heart. I mean, a lot of love to, you know, I want to...
Do you care about yourself?
But I've seen two sides of Ken, and I would rather believe that the good is going to outdo the evil.
Okay.
I wish that with everybody.
Hey, I believe, I share that too. But you gotta take...
Sometimes it sucks because I care a little too much.
Well, you gotta protect yourself, don't you, Sasha?
Right. And why do you... I'm living with my grandparents. There's a restraining order. He can't come here. He can't call here.
There's a restraining order?
Against him, yes.
A PFA?
A PFA with my grandparents for the duration of his probation. My boss will buy shoes if he comes here on property.
When they filed a PFA?
I filed a PFA last year. Dropped the PFA.
Yes.
When I went to rehab, and they didn't.
Your grandparents filed one and they have it in place?
Oh yeah, it's in place. That's why I come here when I don't.
That he's not allowed to come there. So there's your safe haven because there's a PFA in place at least covering that place.
It's my safe house, yes.
So you have been dating Randy for a while? Mm-hmm. About 5 years, I think it was?
4.5. Yeah.
4.5 years. Been a hell of a ride, I guess.
Yeah, it has.
Kenny been around most of that time?
Yeah, initially I was dating Kenny.
Oh, okay.
Starting in... We broke up July in 2003. We were only dating for about 8 months.
Okay.
That's how I had met Randy.
I got you, okay.
Um,
So, Randy thinks that Kenny is probably the one to set him up, and so are other people. I think
there was a bunch of us there.
Was there also, right around that time, a number of other people got busted, I guess?
Months before that, there was a bunch of Dominicans that got burnt. The Primos, if you've ever heard them.
The Primos?
Yeah.
And that was in Lancaster?
Yeah. And Randy says, you know, Kenny's the one that set them up, and then he said that there's this other guy, David. Apparently, Randy's under the impression that Kenny, you know, also set him up, and just there was a lot of circumstances, you know, revolving around, you know, these busts, you know, that Kenny had a lot to do with.
Right. Yeah, the Dominicans was the two stores they had and all that, the old Amarideas and all those guys. And,
yeah.
And then his nephews. And they were all sitting in the federal detention center.
I'm not sure where they are.
Somewhere. They don't know where they are now. But we were looking at whether Kenny was a rat. And so it's your contention. You know him pretty well. You dated him. And you were around all the circumstances. So what are your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So he's likely, you think, working for the Drug Task Force?
Or the DEA.
The DEA. And he's been able to sell and buy drugs pretty freely.
Yeah. Still, as of now, he's still able to buy and do drugs as often as he wants to.
Yeah, he's moving pretty much with license. Like he has a license to do so.
Do not detain.
Do not detain out there on him, right? Get out of jail free. Read the important parts, if you would, from anything that's in there.
Yeah. You've got to love Kenny. He can kill someone and not go to jail, and here we are. That just fucks me up. I'm doing his time.
People said I might have done it.
Yeah.
Well, you better talk to your people that said that I might have done it and tell them to get their fucking lies straight.